Okay, so this is, and your last name?
My name is Susan Alger, and I'm a dance movement therapist and a licensed clinical social worker.
And she's talking a little bit about her passion in getting started. She has a rare blood disorder. HAEA is the short description of that. And her daughter was born and actually ended up having the same disorder. So that drew her to begin, and she's just going to pick up from there.
So, yeah, I'll pick up and kind of circle back a little bit. My original connection to dance movement therapy actually starts a long time ago. I'm 44 years old now, but back when I was an undergrad, I was a dance major. I was born and raised in upstate New York and went to college at Hobart and William Smith Colleges in Geneva, New York. I was a double major in dance and English, and my junior year, I had been taking some master classes with Garth Fagan, who his kind of claim to fame, if you're not familiar with modern dance, is he choreographed The Lion King. His company's pretty well known now. But at the time, he was based in Rochester, and I was taking master classes with him, kind of with my eye on becoming a professional dancer at the time. Became very interested in his earlier work, which was based in Jamaica. So my junior year of college, I was the first student from Hobart and William Smith to do this dance abroad program in Jamaica. Luckily, my winter term. So I spent winter term in Jamaica, living in Kingston. And in Jamaica, still, there's a lot of African dance retentions that come from West African dance traditions, and they use dance in their culture as a part of healing, as a part of ritual. Dance is really ingrained in their whole cultural identity experience, and I became really interested in that. I was able to participate in a few religious ceremonies that involved dance, which is very unusual for a foreigner to be able to be invited in. When I came back to Hobart and William Smith, I actually considered applying for Fulbright to do more study on dance as a healing art form. And then a professor of mine said, my best friend is a dance movement therapist in Rochester. There's a whole field of dance movement therapy. You should talk to her. So I kind of put the Fulbright idea on the shelf after meeting Danielle Frankel, who runs a program in Rochester, New York for alternate route dance movement therapy certification. So it's basically being able to get a master's program without attending a particular university. She brings in different experts in different parts of dance movement therapy to teach different courses, at which point you can apply to get your master's level certification as a dance movement therapist. So Cliff Notes versions of this story is I went on to study with her to become a dance movement therapist based on kind of my original passion that dance could be healing, and for me in my own personal work and my own counseling and my own kind of journey in life, dance has always been a part of that for me and has always been kind of the grounding place of where I have found personally that I do my deepest personal work. So I completed that certification and also at the same time got my master's in social work at Syracuse University.
Wow. So you've been around this and know so much about it and gotten to experience firsthand in a different country. What are you thinking some of the benefits of dance therapy, or what have you seen with some of your clients?
For me, traditional psychotherapy, talk therapy, it's very easy especially for someone who's fairly intellectual, to stay in a place where it's very easy to avoid what's really going on in your life. You know, we can be very intellectually defended. Most people, when push comes to shove and there's very deep, painful things to look at, most of us would choose to rather avoid the real deep, painful stuff and kind of skirt around things and duct tape things and put them away and kind of hope that they'll just go to rest. And at least that's been my personal experience and my experience working with different in different therapies throughout my professional career. Dance movement therapy, what makes it different is you really work with people from the inside out. One of the famous kind of sentences or kind of just tidbits from dance movement therapy is movement doesn't lie. Your body tells the story. And so when you start working with people on the body level, you find very quickly that people get to the heart of their issues much more quickly than you do in traditional talk therapy. Muscles have kinesthetic memory, and so starting at that level, on the body level, and bringing it to the full experience in a controlled way, so as not to overwhelm the client, can be intense and quickly therapeutic.
Wow, that's amazing, and that makes so much sense. So for people who really are new to this, how would you give, well, you kind of did, but a brief description of dance therapy? Like, how is it different than other styles of dance? And what would you do with a client if they came for their first session? How would that look?
Dance movement therapy is an actual form of psychotherapy, and it's funny because a lot of people don't really understand the term, but it's an actual form of psychotherapy. So the way we work is different in that, not unlike art therapists and music therapists, we start with clients from a movement level. It's dance movement therapy. So rather than start by talking, we would start by moving with people, and typically, especially if someone is very uncomfortable in their body for whatever reason, most people are very nervous, they don't know what to expect, they think they're expected to know how to dance, which is not at all what it's about. We start with something simple like paying attention to your breath. The concept of dance movement therapy really has to do with, the way I think about it is, if you can breathe, you can dance. With St. Denis, who's a famous dance pioneer that coined that term. So it really has to do with one's inner experiences, and we all have access to those basic movements. The elements of dance, shape, muscle connection, breath, using those basic elements that are inherent in dance as an art form are what bring the dance into dance movement therapy.
Wow, that's great. So with a new client, you would want to know about their history, about their background, get to know their situation, or does that not matter?
It can, and there's different ways that people approach it. I think it's sometimes because people come to dance movement therapy for all different reasons. Some people may come to work on a specific issue. Some people may come to enhance their creativity. There's a lot of artists and creative arts people that are drawn to the modality, who feel stuck and just want to push through a creative block. So it's helpful to kind of be clear about maybe the reason for seeking dance movement therapy to help guide the process, but you don't even really need to. The process naturally unfolds, and it's the job of the dance movement therapist to hold and guide the process, but the process naturally unfolds.
That's great. That's a perfect description. And then finally, for dance therapy and the future of dance therapy as a part of alternative medicine, what is your take on that, and what do you see for dance therapy with alternative medicine, and what would you recommend for someone that wants to get started with dance therapy, either as a client or to get certified?
It's a lot of questions. I'll answer the last one first. The best way to find a dance movement therapist near you is to go to the American Dance Therapy Association website and to use the website as a tool to find out which dance therapist might be in your area, so that you're actually working with a certified dance movement therapist. There are a lot of people who call themselves movement therapists or some variation on a theme. Dance movement therapists have extensive training, extensive dance training, and extensive training in actual psychotherapy, and it's a master's level certification.
Wow. Okay.
So that's kind of the first caveat. If you're really looking for someone with that particular skill set, you want to be sure that you're kind of getting what you're asking for.
Sure.
So that's the best way to have that assurance. Help me with that.
And then as far as someone who wants to become a client, what would they do to start searching for, like you said, that website sounds like it would be a really good resource. And then the other part was in regards to the future of dance therapy with being a whole of alternative medicine. You know, what do you see for it happening? Is it growing, or?
I would say the field, the time is ripe for this. People are looking for a different answer. I think the year of the magic pill to cure all, you turn on the TV and all you see is, take this and that antidepressant and this will cure your problems. I think that our culture is starting to shift towards looking for a different answer. And the time is now for alternative therapies. People are starting to seek different answers to getting that kind of help, and are starting to define, I think, their healing process in a different way. Consumers are becoming more savvy and educated about alternative therapies and are asking for them.
Wow. And do you have a practice in Eugene, or?
I have a small private practice in Eugene.
Okay.
I am not doing any formal dance movement therapy groups right now. I have up until recently, but I most recently started a job with a local health insurance plan with my social work degree.
Okay.
And so I do a little consulting work on the side, and I hope to come back to it at some point in the future. It is truly my passion, and I do plan to circle back to it.
Awesome. But what a great resource for all of us students that we've been able to learn from you, and you've definitely helped us in so many ways learn about what a great alternative that dance therapy is. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.